Hello, Epic Cookie Run gamers. I'm Mick Mack, and I'm a community manager for Cookie Run Oven Break. And today, well, for the very first time, we are here in our office in Seoul. It's Sunday morning right here, and it's currently, let me see, 10:14, right? So we are live. And yeah, so it's the first time we are having a live stream. So just let us know in the comments if everything is working fine. Yeah, today, like as you know, last week we collected a lot of questions you asked us on the forum, on Facebook, on Twitter, even on YouTube and other social media. And so we are going to answer them today. To help me answer the questions, I actually invited a game designer from the Cookie Run team. Now, this time, it's not Hyunguk, who you've already met in previous videos. It's actually Jong Hum, which is also a game designer. But, you know, I figured that it would be nice to invite, you know, more different people on the channel so that you can meet more people, you know, working on the game. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we can welcome him now. Like, yeah, hi, Jong Hum, you can come and have a seat. Thank you so much for coming, Jong Hum. You know, it's Sunday morning here in Korea, but you came anyway. So yeah, thank you so much for that. And maybe before we start actually answering people questions, I guess you can start by briefly introducing yourself. So 혹시 뭐 간단한 자기소개 부탁드려도 될까요?
네. 반갑습니다. 저는 쿠키런 오븐브레이크 팀에서 컨텐츠 디자인이랑 맵 디자인 메인으로 담당하고 있는 연정흠이라고 합니다. 반갑습니다.
Okay, so then recently, what map did you create? Is there like maps that are in the game that people can play now?
여러분들이 지금 많이 하고 계신 게임 중에서는 요번에 나간 요구르카 떼탈출의 3개 맵 그리고 그랜드 챔피언스 결승전 맵 그리고 1, 2라운드 맵을 제가 디자인했습니다.
So yeah, to explain it to you, last week I asked people on the community to ask us questions. So forum, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere. And actually, do you want to guess how many questions we got?
포럼, 페이스북, 트위터 하면은 1000개도 넘었을 것 같은데.
1000K. So you said like 1,000. Actually, all countries combined, it was around 3,000 questions.
1000개요?
Yeah, 3,000. So I hope you have some time. So, you know, like, obviously we won't be able to answer all your questions because 3,000 is really a lot. I mean, I don't know. If you want to answer 3,000 questions, I guess maybe we need to have a 24-hour stream. Maybe later we can do that. But not today. So, you know, we tried to select the most popular questions. The first question came actually from the forum, and it was asked by HW1999 on the forum. And, you know, it's kind of a casual question to start things lightly. And it's actually about fan meetup. So that player asked, how were the fan meetup? And actually, I believe you were in Seoul fan meetup, right?
네,
You took part of that. So 혹시 소감 한 말씀 부탁드려도 될까요?
저는 서울에서 열렸던 팬미팅 참석했었고 일단 팬분들이 되게 멀리 있는 저희 회사까지 찾아온 열정에 되게 놀랐고 제일 신기하고 놀랐던 거는 이제 유저분들이 진짜 다양하게 진짜 학생분부터 막 직장인 막 부모님 세대까지 진짜 다양하신 분들이 참석하셔가지고 되게 좋은 열정이랑 좋은 피드백들 전달해 주셔서 너무 좋았습니다.
Yeah, the second part of the question was actually, do we plan to have more in the future? And yeah, I mean, we are definitely working in that direction. Even though we don't have any concrete plans at the moment, like nothing decided for sure. Hopefully we can have even meetups in different countries so that more people can join. And I guess, yeah, as I said, something that we are looking on to is to having it maybe online, like today, so that more people can take part in this kind of activities as well. So yeah, thank you for the questions. And let me move on to the next question. And I think that's a question for you, actually. It's about crossovers. So 앞으로 will we do more crossovers, right? So 앞으로 콜라보 다시 하실 생각이 있으실까요?
콜라보레이션 이벤트는 저희가 작년 1월에 작년 11월, 12월에 이제 헬로키티 콜라보레이션 이벤트 처음으로 진행을 했었는데요. 그때 유저분들의 되게 다양한 피드백들 저희가 너무 잘 받았어요. 그래서 일단 지금 드릴 수 있는 말씀은 저희가 지금 확정적으로 준비하거나 진행 중인 피드백은 아니 콜라보레이션 이벤트는 아직은 없어요. 근데 만약에 앞으로 저희가 뭐 새로운 콜라보레이션 이벤트 준비하게 되면은 더 재밌는 IP랑 같이 그리고 여러분들이 주셨던 좋은 피드백들 잘 반영해서 여러분들이 되게 재밌게 즐기실 수만 있는 좋은 콜라보레이션 이벤트로 준비를 하려고 계획하고 있습니다.
Okay. Well, thank you for your answer. And let's move on to the next question that was asked by General Angel on Twitter. And okay, it's actually a question about the update process. And the question was, how long does it take to make an update? 그래서 이제 이벤트나 뭐 업데이트 이제 계획부터 제작까지 시간이 얼마 정도 걸릴까요?
저희 새로운 업데이트 준비 시간을 물어보셨는데 이제 기획 단계부터 설명하면은 이제 업데이트마다 너무 차이가 많아서 설명하기가 힘들어요. 예를 들어서 요번에 업데이트 저희가 한 탐정런 이벤트 같은 경우에는 최초에 이제 기획 시작은 봄부터 저희 팀 내부에서 이런 이벤트를 하자는 아이디어가 나왔고 저희가 이제 업무를 하면서 이제 여기에 살도 붙이고 이제 다양한 장치들이랑 스토리 엮으면서 이거 업데이트 해도 되겠다 유저분들이 재밌게 즐기실 수 있겠다는 확신이 들면은 그때부터 제작에 착수해서 일단 제작에 들어가게 되면은 저희가 이제 매달 업데이트 하니까 보통 한 4주 정도의 제작 기간을 가지게 됩니다.
Okay, let's me move on to the next question, which is actually a question we got from a lot of different places, including Huiba channel on Twitter and also Milaborantes, Huiba channel on YouTube and Milaborantes on Twitter. And the question is actually about the design process of new cookies. So how does that happen? So 이제 새로운 쿠키 뭐 만드는 뭐 과정 어떻게 되는지 좀 궁금하시더라고요.
저희가 새로운 쿠키를 만드는 과정 중에서 좀 여러분들에게 말씀드릴 만한 게 쿠키톤이라는 프로젝트를 저희가 진행을 해요.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
보통 이제 연초에 1년에 한 번 진행을 해서 이제 모든 아티스트 분들이 최대한 다양한 아이디어들을 쿠키로 만들 수 있을 것 같은 재밌는 뭐 쿠키 재료일 수도 있고 직업일 수도 있는데 이것들을 다 모아서 이제 아이디어로 만드는 과정을 거치고 그래서 쿠키톤을 한번 진행하게 되면은 저희가 연초에 쿠키 적어도 한 100개에서 많을 때는 한 200개까지 아이디어들을 쌓아놓고 거기서 이제 스토리랑 이제 기능에 맞게 여러분들한테 소개를 해드리고 있습니다.
And actually, to show you a bit more about this, I brought up this sketch from the Cookie-ton. So it's actually a walnut cookie original sketch, you know, that our artist drew at that time. And so, as you can see on this sketch, I guess you can make it appear on the screen right now. Okay, okay. You can see that. So there is the image of walnut cookie, you know, the very first drawing of it. And you can see there are keywords and sentences as well to tell you a bit more about the cookie personality, right? So for walnut cookie, for example, she has a bright intellect and she is able to handle, you know, like crisis and stuff. And you can also see it's written here that she has an occupational habit of asking too many questions because it's a very curious cookie. I don't know if other cookies are going to like that very much, but whatever. And yeah, you can see here that from the actually very beginning, she was supposed to have a relation with, like to have a connection with Peppermint Cookie. And that actually made it into the game, right? Like there is that relation in the relation system, right? And yeah, sometimes, you know, there is also mention about how the cookie is supposed to talk. So for example, walnut cookie always refers to clues as if they were alive, you know, because she really feels like the clues are talking to her and that, you know, they are alive. So if you look at the dialogues in the game, she will say stuff as the clues will, or the clues are, like the clues will guide us, right? And last thing really interesting in this image is, you probably saw it already, right? Like the pet is pretty different, right? So yeah, I mean, I guess sometimes the pet design or even the cookie design, you know, can be modified in the planning process. And yeah, so to fit the story a little bit better or to fit the atmosphere, you know, originally that smart walnut pet got, you know, replaced by the Ted pet that you can see in the game right now. Let's move on to the next question. And okay, actually, I really like this question. I forgot to write who asked it. Sorry about that, but thank you so much because it was really a fun question, and it's about redesigning cookies, right? So I told you just before that sometimes cookie got redesigned, and the question is actually, are there any cookies who have been drastically redesigned during the planning stages? 그래서 이제 뭐 계획 과정 중에 뭔가 좀 디자인 많이 바꿨던 쿠키 있었는지 그 질문인데요. Actually, let me answer this question because you know I got really excited about this question and really curious about it. So I went to talk with our art people to ask them if they have any interesting story to share, and yeah, actually they did. So let me show you this cookie. Can you see it? Can you see it well? Okay. This is actually coconut cookie, and you might not believe me, but this cookie is actually in the game somehow. Not like this, right? Like I guess it got changed. The design got changed, and so as you can see, coconut cookie was like a cookie that likes sports, right? Like an athlete cookie, I guess. And originally, like she was playing like American football, right? And okay, I'll tell you what happened. There was actually one problem. It's that, well, American football is not really a winter sport, right? No. So naturally, from American football, coconut cookie started to play ice hockey like this. You see where I'm going with this, right? And so, yeah, coconut cookie actually got changed into a ice hockey player, and so she became ice candy cookie. Pretty cool stuff, right? You didn't know that, did you? Did you know that actually?
Of course, I was. 저는 참여를 했기 때문에 알고 있죠.
Okay,
네.
okay, so you knew it, you knew it.
네.
Well, nice English, you know, don't hesitate, it's fine. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This is actually a really fun question too. It's actually a question from Pecoro from Twitter, who asked, what cookie did the team had the most fun making? 그래서 제작하기에는 가장 재미있었던 쿠키 어떤 쿠키일까요?
제작은 이제 팀마다 다를 텐데 저는 컨텐츠 기획자로서 만들면서 제일 재밌었던 쿠키는 제가 최근에 참여했던 쿠키는 사이보그마 쿠키
Okay.
만들 때 제일 재밌었어요. 사이보그마 쿠키의 기능 컨셉이 그 사이보그 능력을 이용해서 되게 빠르게 날아다니는 쿠키를 만드는 게 목표였는데 이제 그 능력을 살려서 너무 빠르게 날아가게 하면 이제 밸런스가 무너지게 되고 또 밸런스를 맞추려고 다른 쿠키들이랑 맞추면은 이제 그 능력 컨셉이 잘 안 사니까 계속 테스트를 하면서 이제 몇 번을 질주를 시키고 어느 정도 속도가 좋은지 진짜 수십 번 테스트를 하면서 이제 되게 재밌는 최종 결과물을 만드는 과정이 힘들지만 제일 재밌었던 것 같아요.
Let me move on to the next question. Question number 7. Okay, it was actually a super popular question on the community, and I guess it makes sense because, you know, we released the costume gacha recently, right? And so people are wondering if we are going to add more ways to get rainbow cubes, right? Like 이제 무지개 큐브 얻기 조금 이제 어려운데 뭔가 앞으로 좀 더 뭐 쉽게 얻을 수 있는 방법 추가할 예정이실까요?
저희가 최근에 이제 무지개 큐브 관련해서 저희 그거 스킨 뽑기 시스템 추가되고 그 유저분들이 무지개 큐브가 많이 필요한 상황이 생기면서 이런 피드백을 많이 받았어요. 그래서 저희가 지금 현재로서는 이벤트라든지 뭐 출석 보상 등에서 무지개 큐브 최대한 많이 수급할 수 있도록 노력하는 중이고 그리고 아시다시피 최근에 이제 그랜드 챔피언스 대회가 열렸으니까 거기 참여하신 분들이랑 참여 안 하신 분들도 곧 아마 약간 개편된 무지개 큐브 광산이 열릴 거라고 기대를 하실 수도 있겠죠.
Thank you for your answer, and let me move on to the next question, which is about legendary cookies. So, will we have more legendary cookies in Cookie Run Oven Break? So, 레전드 쿠키 이제 뭐 그냥 추가할 예정이 있을까요?
예. 레전더리 쿠키 추가 예정은 물론 있고 지금 있는 레전더리 쿠키들 중에서도 아직 되게 특별하고 재밌는 마법사탕 능력을 못 받은 쿠키들이 있어서 저희가 최근에는 마법사탕 능력을 몇 종을 추가를 했고 확실하게 말씀드릴 수는 없지만 올해 중으로 새로운 그리고 또 강력한 레전더리 쿠키들이 이제 새롭고 재밌는 스토리랑 같이 출시될 예정도 있으니까 기대해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.
Let's me move on to the next question. Okay, that's a question we got everywhere. That's a super popular question. I hope you're ready for it.
네.
Not too nervous.
뭐지?
Will you add a new island of memories? 그래서
네.
뭐 이해하시겠지만
네.
이제 기억의 섬 앞으로 추가할 생각이 있으실까요?
네, 물론 있습니다. 기억의 섬은 저희가 처음 출시할 때도 그리고 개편할 때도 되게 재밌게 만들었던 콘텐츠고 저희도 이제 언제든지 새로 추가할 어떤 계획은 가지고 있는데 이제 기억의 섬 같은 경우에는 되게 재밌게 즐겨주는 유저분들도 계시고 되게 이제 능력이 제한된다든지 하는 부분들이 있어서 되게 어렵게 느끼시는 유저분들도 계셔서 이제 새롭게 추가될 때는 이제 이런 것들을 다 적절하게 배합하고 새로운 재미있는 장치들도 넣어서 여러분들이 열심히 성장시키신 쿠키들의 능력도 마음껏 발휘하실 수 있고 더 재밌고 새로운 게임 속 장치들도 추가해서 훨씬 재밌는 버전으로 소개시켜 드리기 위해서 준비 중이라고 말씀을 드리고 싶습니다.
Okay, let me move on to question 10, the last question for today. And it's actually also a super popular question, and it's about lilac and aloe cookie. Will they be added into the game? Please add them into the game. Everybody wants them. Me too.
네, 맞아요. 저도 두 쿠키가 게임 속에서 활약하는 걸 보고 싶고 두 쿠키는 처음에 이제 맨 처음에는 스토리에 어떤 큰 역할을 하고 있는 어떤 NPC 캐릭터로 준비가 됐어서 처음에 기능 기획 같은 논의는 막 깊이까지는 되진 않았는데 이제 커뮤니티나 다양한 쪽에서 여러분들이 이제 쿠키 디자인이나 이런 것들 너무 마음에 들어 해주셔서 저희도 이제 기능이라든지 어떻게 재미있게 게임 속에 넣을 수 있는지에 대해서 고민을 하고 있습니다. 근데 이제 그냥 게임에 갑자기 뭐 다른 스토리 업데이트 되는데 갑자기 알로에마 쿠키 뭐 새로운 능력이 이렇게 추가되는 것보다는 예를 들어서 뭐 알로에마 쿠키 같은 경우에는 뭐 알파런 이후의 이야기 같은 걸 소개하면서 이제 스토리에 맞게 추가되는 게 훨씬 재밌을 것 같아서 저희가 준비는 해놓고 타이밍을 보고 있다고
Okay.
네, 말씀드리면 좋을 것 같습니다.
Okay, I see. Actually, you know, I lied. There is one more question. And it's actually, yeah, it's a question that I just really couldn't not answer to. And it's about dark choco cookie air conditioner. Oh my God! Will we reveal the air conditioner? Actually, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. If our YouTube channel reach 100,000 subscribers, I'll make a special video about dark choco cookie air conditioner. Wait, how many subscribers do we have now?
100만이요.
Okay, it's like 50,000. So you know what you have to do, right?
보고 계시다면 구독과 좋아요 부탁드립니다.
Okay, subscribe. There is one more thing I wanted to mention before we end up the Q&A, and it's actually another question that we got a lot this week in the community, and you know, it's about like the new Cookie Detective event. You know, you have to run in breakout and you collect these keys, right? Like you get sent into that special stage, right? And sometimes because of that, you miss some jellies or some like even potions, and yeah, that's a bit like uncomfortable, right? I talked with like, you know, the team last week, and this is actually a problem that the team is aware of, and they discussed ways to fix it. But to fix it would actually require some more development and some extra coding, and it would actually take some time. And so, yeah, it's unfortunately going to be a little bit complicated to fix it before the end of this event, like this time. But next time when we have this kind of event again, we are going to make sure that, yeah, this kind of problem don't happen again, and we are going to make sure that, yeah, this is going to be better. So, yeah, sorry for the inconvenience about this, and yeah, hopefully we'll do better next time. Okay, just wanted to mention that because it was a really popular question last week, and I felt like, you know, we really had to answer this one too. Okay, I mean, I guess that's all for the Q&A today. So thank you so much to help me answering these questions. You know, I mean, we cannot answer all the questions because, yeah, I mean, 3,000 is really a lot. But hopefully we can have more of this kind of Q&A in the future to, keep answering your questions and keep, communicating with you guys more. But before I let you go, because, I have you here next to me, I'm not going to let you go. So you're a map designer, right? Correct? Okay. And would you say that you're quite good at CookieRun?
아유, 물론이죠.
Okay, he said yes, he's quite good at CookieRun. Okay, so I'd actually like to challenge you in a CookieRun match. Is that okay for you? Ready to play CookieRun?
물론이죠.